AJ Styles' career is on the line at the Royal Rumble in Riyadh. Win or lose, the Phenomenal One has confirmed he'll retire in 2026. If you're only familiar with his last decade or so, these are the matches to watch from his star-making pre-WWE runs. Upon departing from TNA in late 2013 after more than 10 years there, Styles embarked on an epic trip around the wrestling world, stepping between the ropes for a whole bunch of different promotions. The most notable was a return to Ring of Honor.
ROH, known for no-nonsense competition, the best in the world.
Styles had been one of the brand's earliest breakout talents, and ROH had gone on to help establish some of the biggest indie wrestling stars to ever lace up a pair of boots. During his third ROH run, Styles clashed with a bunch of notable names, including one of the faces of the company, Chris Hero. Styles and Hero had faced off 4 times prior to their ROH Flyin High encounter in March 2014. Styles had won the first 3. Hero took the 4th in January of that same year. Hoping to even up the score, Hero pulled out all the stops against Styles here. Both men quickly got to work using their mat grappling and striking techniques to get the advantage. They went back and forth for nearly 20 minutes before Hero had no choice but to tap to Styles' calf killer submission hold. Styles and Hero put on as good a show as you'd expect. We'd argue this is their best match. TNA often struggled to find its identity over the years, but a few things did set it apart, like the 6-sided ring. Another thing that got eyes on the company was the X Division, a subset of the roster made up of young, fast, innovative competitors who could put together exciting matches unlike anything fans had seen before. AJ Styles is one of the men who helped make X Division matches must-see in the early days of its existence. An undeniable highlight from this era is his match against Petey Williams and Chris Sabin at TNA's Final Resolution 2005. Given the talent involved, this match would have been exciting on its own, but TNA sweetened the pot even more for this one, making it an Ultimate X match.
And we were doing something special. And, even the Ultimate X match was special. It was different. It was weird.
The 3 competitors had to climb cables suspended above the ring to reach the X Division Championship in the center. All 3 men went to extreme lengths to get it. In all of its high-flying, hard-hitting glory, this match defines what the X Division is all about. In the end, Styles walked away the new X Division champion, though no one should have left this match ashamed. It's considered among the best Ultimate X matches in history and scored 4.5 stars from the Wrestling Observer. The Ring of Honor Pure Championship made a comeback in the 2020s, but before that, the title had a brief but eventful run in the mid-2000s. Before its initial 2006 retirement, the title was held by names including Samoa Joe, Jay Lethal, Doug Williams, and AJ Styles. In fact, Styles was the first ever ROH Pure Champion. He won a grueling tournament way back in 2004 to earn it. To take home the gold in the finals, he defeated none other than CM Punk at ROH's 2nd anniversary event that February. While that match was a good one, the one that came a month after it was even better. Punk landed himself a rematch at ROH's At Our Best event that March, with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat stepping up as special guest referee. With one of wrestling's finest keeping a close eye on the action, Punk and Styles tore the house down for just under 25 minutes. Unfortunately for him, Punk couldn't secure the title by the closing bell. Styles and Punk are 2 of the best of their generation, so it should come as no surprise that they delivered during their handful of pre-WWE matches. But they were really at their best at Our Best. In its early years, TNA loaded up its roster with established stars to draw eyeballs. But it was the younger, fresher athletes who were the real heart and soul of the company. A handful of names are fondly remembered as the faces of the promotion during those years. AJ Styles was unquestionably one of them, as was the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. They both went above and beyond to make a case that TNA was indeed the future of the sport.
Don't turn your back on me! I'm not done! Well, I am.
Case in point, their one-on-one match for the X Division title at TNA's Turning Point pay-per-view in 2005. Joe and Styles both stepped into the 6-sided ring with purpose. In the midst of his 6th X Division championship reign, Styles had every intention of hanging on to his spot atop the division. As for Joe, he hadn't held championship gold in TNA yet, so he was determined to dethrone the Phenomenal One by any means necessary. For almost 20 minutes, Joe and Styles threw caution to the wind in the name of championship glory, though only one man could walk out victorious. Samoa Joe emerged as the winner of this hard-fought match with his rival Styles, securing his first of many X Division titles. The Wrestling Observer gave their match 4 3/4 stars, which it more than deserves. After touring the indies for a while following his departure from TNA, Styles found his new home New Japan Pro Wrestling. He found his crew there pretty quickly, joining the infamous Bullet Club faction in early 2014. The group's founder, Prince Devitt, aka Finn Balor, was on his way out to WWE, which left the leadership position open for Styles. Styles quickly became the company's top heel, with the babyfaces looking to run him out of the promotion. And there was no more consummate babyface in New Japan than Hiroshi Tanahashi, who locked up one-on-one with the Phenomenal One quite a few times. The matches the two, arguably the top stars in NJPW at the time, put on were consistently excellent. In the fall and summer of 2014, Tanahashi scored 2 wins against Styles. First, Tanahashi won their matchup in the G1 Climax tournament. Then he won the IWGP World Heavyweight title from Styles at the King of Pro Wrestling event. But Styles wasn't done with the ace. After pinning Tanahashi in an 8-man tag match, Styles demanded a rematch for the championship at the New Beginning in Osaka in February 2015 and got it. Both men went all out in hopes of leaving the Bodymaker Coliseum as champion. They went back and forth for around 26 minutes before Styles finally defeated Tanahashi to earn his second run with the IWGP Heavyweight title. Styles and Tanahashi had several memorable clashes, but their New Beginning in Osaka bout is among the best, earning a 4-star rating from the Wrestling Observer. Styles was only really starting to make a name for himself in pro wrestling in 2002, having worked as an undercard talent for the previous few years on shows like WWF Sunday Night Heat, WWF Jacked, and WCW Thunder. But even in those early outings, fans saw something special in the young high flyer. No matter the size of the spotlight or the stipulation he had to work within, he always impressed. It helped that he had a bunch of equally talented competitors to work with, too.
Talent that was around there.
Low-Ki was one of the many gifted wrestling prospects of the early 2000s. He became a standout member of the Ring of Honor roster as the company got off the ground in 2002. This led to a match between him and Styles, AJ's first in the promotion, at the ROH Night of Appreciation event in late April. As two upstarts with everything to prove, the two future stars left it all in the ring. The near 20-minute contest ended with Low-Ki picking up the victory, but Styles left the Murphy Recreation Center in Philadelphia looking like $1 million too. Low-Ki and Styles would wrestle a handful more times in the years that followed, with the former getting the upper hand every time. They never quite recreated the magic of their Night of Appreciation match, though. The Wrestling Observer fittingly awarded it 4.5 stars. As 2015 continued, Styles and his Bullet Club stablemates steamrolled the competition in New Japan. The Phenomenal One kept a firm grasp on his IWGP Heavyweight Championship. He put the title on the line against Kota Ibushi at Invasion Attack that April, retaining after taking nearly a half hour of Ibushi's offensive onslaught. That was Styles' last title defense for 3 months, though he wrestled some tag matches and non-title bouts, including one against Adam Cole in the meantime. Styles' next challenger turned out to be another of his major rivals and another megastar, the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. The previous May, Styles had defeated Okada to win his first IWGP Heavyweight Championship, and Okada chased his lost title. He hoped to get it back at New Japan's Dominion in July 2015. The two TNA alums tore the house down in the name of gold and glory, but only one of them could walk away as champion. Okada ultimately took home the gold, achieving victory after a back-and-forth battle that ran for just over 26 minutes. Given their in-ring expertise, it's no surprise that Okada and Styles put together a remarkable match at Dominion. The Wrestling Observer awarded it 4 3/4 stars, and it's not hard to see why. We won't say that the X Division was the only thing TNA had going for it in the early to mid-2000s. They had some big-name stars who could still deliver in the ring, but the X Division and its young standouts definitely injected a needed dose of excitement into the company's product.
So you want to get to the top of the X Division at my expense. That's going to cost you.
That was proven by the end of the decade, when the breakout stars of the X Division had moved up into main event spots. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe climbed the ladder of success and found themselves competing for the TNA Heavyweight Championship. By November 2009, Styles, Daniels, and Joe were seasoned veterans of the six-sided ring. They had earned their 3-way main event match for TNA's top title at the Turning Point pay-per-view. Styles came into the match as champ, and right out of the gate, the two challengers made it clear that they had no intention of squandering their title opportunity. As As for the champ, he fought hard to retain the gold in what proved to be a hard-hitting, high-flying encounter between three of TNA's most exceptional homegrown names. When all was said and done, neither the Fallen Angel nor the Samoan Submission Machine could claim victory over the Phenomenal One. Styles, Daniels, and Joe delivered the goods at Turning Point. They'd come a long way to reach the main event, and this 4.5-star match is a testament to their respective journeys. Winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship is obviously a huge achievement, but arguably it's an equally big feather in a competitor's cap to emerge as the victor of the annual G1 Climax tournament. Year after year, the company's best compete in the hard-hitting round-robin tournament, with the winner not only nabbing a title opportunity, but proving through hard-fought wins that they're the top dog. Styles participated in 2 G1 tournaments. He failed to win his first in 2014. Hoping to turn his luck around, he entered again in 2015 and did quite well for himself in the A block. But others, namely Tanahashi, Okada, and Shinsuke Nakamura, ended up with better scores. Despite coming up just a little short, Styles did remind everyone just how good he really is with his performance in the tournament. On August 14th, the 17th night of the tournament, he stood across the ring from the ace himself, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Tanahashi was almost certainly looking for revenge after his loss to Styles at the New Beginning in Osaka. To call the match thrilling, entertaining, or even impressive doesn't quite do it justice. Styles and Tanahashi brought their A-game for this one, amounting to more than 27 minutes of incredible in-ring action. Tanahashi ultimately won the match and the entire tournament. Still, there's no denying how awesome it was seeing Styles lock up with him once again. The Wrestling Observer awarded this match 4 3/4 stars. Long before he became Daniel Bryan, led the Yes Movement, and main evented WrestleMania 30, Bryan Danielson got his start under much smaller spotlights. He really established himself in Ring of Honor, gaining a following for his work as a technical prodigy and notoriously stiff striker. As Danielson's reputation grew, more and more of his peers clamored to face him in the ring, including another future superstar, AJ Styles.
We were able to do everything. We could take everything. We could do everything.
Styles and Danielson faced off for the first time ever in January 2003 at ROH's Main Event Spectacles show. Inside the Rexplex in Elizabeth, New Jersey, the two rising stars clashed over the ROH World Title #1 contendership trophy. Leaving nothing up to chance, Styles and Danielson worked a relatively slow, methodical style. They both put a heavy emphasis on grappling, wearing each other down by any means necessary. It beckoned viewers in as fans wondered who would have the wherewithal to come out ahead. After just under 25 minutes, Styles picked up the hard-earned win over Danielson. Danielson and Styles only faced off 4 times in their pre-WWE careers. They locked up quite a few more times once they both got to the big show, even feuding over the WWE Championship in 2018. But their first ever match remains a cut above the rest. When Styles entered his first New Japan G1 Climax tournament in the summer of 2014, he got off to a bit of a rough start. He lost his first match to Kazuchika Okada, then he notched a win against Toru Yano, only to then eat yet another loss to Tetsuya Naito in his third match. Luckily, Styles managed to turn things around, notching wins against Hiroki Goto and Hiroyoshi Tenzan. His next opponent, though, threatened to be an instant momentum killer. Styles was scheduled to face one of the most feared men to ever step into a New Japan ring, Minoru Suzuki. An expert grappler and devastating striker with a sadistic attitude, Suzuki came into the match more than ready to tear Styles apart. Even still, the Phenomenal One was determined to keep his winning streak alive, so he weathered the storm of Suzuki's offensive barrage while dishing out as much offense of his own as possible. To call the match an all-out war would be an understatement. When the dust settled, Styles overcame the monumental challenge Suzuki presented and continued to impress throughout the remainder of the G1. Though, as we noted, he didn't win. That was Okada. To date, this is the only time that Styles and Suzuki have shared a ring. The two ring generals are long overdue for a rematch, but that's sadly unlikely to ever happen. This match scored 4 3/4 stars from the Wrestling Observer. Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles arrived in WWE at around the same time in early 2016. Their nearly concurrent debuts had fans salivating for recreations of their one epic singles battle in New Japan. But the king of strong style spent a year in NXT while the Phenomenal One went straight to the main roster, so they had to wait a while. Eventually, the two did meet in a WWE ring quite a few times, including a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 34. Sadly, their many WWE matches never quite lived up to what they were able to bring to a New Japan ring, though. Frankly, the closest they ever got was what's likely to be their final match, the one at Saturday night's main event in January 2026. Styles and Nakamura created lightning in a bottle in their one and only New Japan singles match at Wrestle Kingdom 10 in January 2016. The two had faced off in tag bouts before, but they brought a serious big fight feel to the Tokyo Dome, facing off for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. These were two of the biggest wrestling stars in the world, and anticipation was high. From the in-ring action to the character work, Styles and Nakamura put on a true spectacle. It was a true dream match brought to life, one that concluded with Nakamura achieving victory over Styles and retaining his championship gold just a few weeks before Styles' surprise WWE debut at the Royal Rumble. Nakamura and Styles' Wrestle Kingdom 10 match is a bona fide classic that's more than deserving of its 4 3/4 stars from the Wrestling Observer. Yes, 4 years before they faced off in a three-way match for the TNA Championship, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels hit the ring in another triple threat at a TNA pay-per-view. By 2009, they had proven themselves as main eventers, and their match at TNA Unbreakable 2005 is undoubtedly one of the places they proved it. There wasn't much the three wouldn't do to steal the spotlight, and they succeeded.
At the end, I was like, okay, that went really well. That went really well.
This time vying for the TNA X Division Championship, Styles, Daniels, and Joe put on a gripping contest. They grappled, challenged each other to striking exchanges, took and received match-changing power moves, and even took to the skies. With each pin or submission attempt, they dug down deep to keep the match alive, displaying incredible strength and determination. Only one man could win, and that man was Styles, who ended the bout at just under 23 minutes and left the Impact Zone as a 5-time X Division champion. As far as his non-WWE outings go, AJ Styles has yet to have a better match than his Unbreakable 2005 battle against Joe and Daniels. It has it all, and one could easily justify this 5-star encounter as being one of the single greatest matches in X Division and Impact Wrestling history. It'd be quite a few years before Styles was the face that runs the place, but this match was a major stepping stone to get there.